Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the WZ-113 GFT. This is a Tier 10 Chinese tech tree tank destroyer, and it is really just the most overpowered Tier 10 in the game right now. I'd actually be willing to say that this is the most overpowered tank that has ever been in Tier 10. The level of armor, mobility, and just everything that this vehicle has to its advantage over its opponents is absolutely stupid, and in a decent player's hands, this vehicle is completely unfair. Let's talk about why. First of all, it's got a top speed of 42, and a power to weight similar to medium tanks, which already is really dumb, especially when you realize that it has 247 millimeters of hull armor, very well angled, so actually more around 340 to 50 millimeters thick of hull armor on flat ground on the entire upper plate. When you pair that with the fact this tank has pretty good DPM with, I don't know, 300 standard pen and 640 damage per shot, the vehicle turns at 50 degrees a second, and also features, well, you know, reactive armor and sandbags and everything else that you'd want on a Tier 10. It's no doubt why this is an absolutely overpowered vehicle, and why it is being spammed in the competitive scene for this game. But the good news is it seems Wargaming has finally come to their senses, and they will be nerfing the tank. You see, the problem with Wargaming is when they have a vehicle that's not played very much, they just keep buffing the vehicle over and over and over until it's completely overpowered. And we've seen this many times. The TVP was one of the least played Tier 10s in the game, and Wargaming buffed it to a point to where it was overpowered with a 1.5 second intro clip and everybody played it. And now they've done it with the WZ, and I guarantee they'll do it for other tanks in the future, like the VZ-55 and the CS-63, depending on if people ever start playing those tanks. Now, do I think after the nerf the WZ is going to be bad? No. We'll have to see. My guess is they're going to remove its reactive, which is a good thing, and I'm also hoping that they nerf a bit of its frontal armor. Those are really the only two things that need to be changed, but I guess we'll have to see. It's also very possible they will nerf its mobility, which could be a viable change, but I really think that the frontal protection is the major factor that allows this vehicle to get away with really whatever it wants, and we're going to see if that is the case for this game. The only reason I'm not playing too aggressive yet is because they do have that back bush there, and I don't know if they have heavies in that bush, or not heavies, but, you know, tank destroyers like a Jag or a Foch, which is always something you want to be a little cautious about. So, we can see the enemy M46 Patton is running away, and, ooh, there you go. 644 damage shell to his vehicle. 57 heavy shoots him as well. Low roll from the 57 heavy, though. I'm rather surprised, actually. Alright, well, let's make our way more in the front line here. Oh, we got the Jag in the back, aiming. Oh, we're not able to hit the Jag there. Bro's, like, really awkward on his positioning. Alright, well, let's load in heat. There you go. 558 gets the job done. I was correct, by the way. They indeed did have a tank destroyer camping in their spawn, so at least I wasn't too far off on that guess, was I now? Got the Jagdpanzer backing up, and, yep, there you go. Another nice shot. You can see that this gun is also fairly accurate and doesn't really miss a lot, which is something else you should note about this vehicle. Well, we have the enemy Foch over here. We're just going to put on our reactive. Not like he's going to pen me anyway. There you go, 526, and the 57 heavies behind him. Well, we've already dealt 2,200 damage. We still have our reactive on anyway. Not that he's going to do anything to me. Well, the enemy team's down to 3 tanks left. This has been an absolute steamroll. Not very surprising. I mean, the Object 260 is literally camping in their spawn. Waffle, it would be great if you gave me a little bit of room. Thank you very much. Alright, let's just make our way over to the Object 260, and we'll see if we can get a shell out. Aiming, a little bit longer, and chunk. There you go. That most definitely penned his vehicle. Yes, sirree. Alright, we got 8 more seconds left, and we'll be able to get another shell out into the Object 260, so we're just going to chill right here. Yeah, he bounces me, not very surprising, and thank you. There you go, another 624. We have dealt a pretty solid amount of damage at this point. Not that it matters. I mean, clearly this guy doesn't even know what he's doing. Well, yeah, we're gonna take another nice little juicer off of you, and this game is over. We did just shy of 4,000 damage at 3,930. We absolutely steamrolled medium flank, and this is kind of just your average WZ game. I mean, look at the mobility of this thing. Even uphill, we were chilling at like 40. As I said, it's the fact that it has so much armor, so much mobility, and then when you pair reactive armor with all of those other capabilities, it's stupid. I mean, we blocked 2,000 damage that game. That's ridiculous. The Foch bounced us, and, I mean, I wasn't really worried about anything, to be honest. Even if that Jagdpanzer 100 had shot us, it really would not have changed the result we had there. So we're obviously going to try another game, and we'll see what the WZ can do again. Oh boy, we arrive on Mines, a map that, well, is quite strong for this tank, judging that we have 6 degrees of gun depression, which is just how much you need to work the hill. Now, they do have an E4, which could be a threat, and they do have some other nasty vehicles like the E5 and E100, so we will have to be a little careful on the hill. While this tank is overpowered, it is not unstoppable, and that's something you always have to keep in mind. So you don't want to play too aggressive and just kill yourself, especially if our team ends up going down, which it looks like they might be very well doing. But what I am going to do early game is I'm going to see if anybody tries crossing this. It's not very surprising if the enemy T100 does. I would say that is a no at this point. We can see the enemy E100 spotted. We can see the E5 detected as well. There you go. Nice shot right into the E5, and oh, we got the KPZ over here as well. See, now this is a problem. I did activate reactive, but this is the problem with Mines Hill. It doesn't really matter what I do when, again, I have no support from my team and I'm just getting pushed. So not really sure what I'm actually supposed to be doing here. Well, we try to pen the E5, but I don't really know what to do, to be honest, guys. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do when my entire team's on the other flank of the map. I'm just gonna try and cross this, and well, I might lose another 400 health, but well, he actually bounced us. All right, well, that's nice. Thanks, team. Thanks for being absolutely useless, but all right. Let's aim it on the E4. I was gonna HE him, and that actually would have penned if I had. But honestly, I just didn't think it was worth it. Bro, what are you doing? What are you doing, E4? What are you doing? Well, apparently you're just driving out in the open. Once again, I just can't predict stupidity. It's one of those values that you will never be able to predict. Well, we've done a decent amount of damage at this point, but we have also not really gotten too many bounces this game, which is rather disappointing, to be honest. But, oh well. There you go. Bye-bye. Even without the bounces, we've still done a lot of damage this game. And that's obviously pretty good. So we're just going to drive on over, and, well, we're going to get 135 damage shell into the Kampfpanzer. Not too much, but, oh, we have a 704 back there. I didn't even see him. Well, I don't think we're going to be able to hit him. Oh, actually, we might be able to. No, it was very close, but unfortunately, it did not end up hitting. Well, this was still a steamroll, to be completely real, and quite an easy one at that. We got the Chieftain left, we got the E5. E5 got bled out quite a bit. Chieftain is rushing my teammate in the Bashation, and there you go, nice 655. He bounces me, and the Bat Chat's going to clear him. Bye-bye. And that leaves us with the T110 E5 up top and the 704 in the back. Well, we're going to push the E5. We're going to get some good damage out into him. I mean, this game should have been tricky for any other tank, but in this vehicle, it's not too much of a challenge at all. We're going to get behind the E5, we're going to load in an HE, deal 942, and there you go. 4 kills, 4,000 damage, and yet again, another win. I will admit, the armor did not work very well that game, but it's only because of the fact our lower plate was exposed to the enemy who was able to shoot it. And even then, we still blocked 1,100, and we still did an easy 4,400. This tank featuring reactive armor, this tank featuring the mobility, the damage per minute, and the level of hit points it features is unfair. And people are free to share their opinions in the comments. The last time I said this tank was overpowered, people said, oh, it's not. Well, Wargaming is nerfing this vehicle in the upcoming update. So it is overpowered, and it does deserve a nerf. And if you disagree, you're just wrong. I mean, that's as simple as it is. Yeah, this tank is ridiculous. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.